Alright, what's going on? I'm back with another replay cast, playing as the Tomb Kings this time, and I am matched up against the Warriors of Chaos on Death Pass. Now, this is my first matchup as the Tomb Kings. I had played a campaign as them at some point in one of the earlier games. I want to say in Total War Warhammer 2, and didn't get too far, honestly. I didn't understand how the constructs work and whatnot. Probably should have paid attention at the beginning, but either way, I have a general idea of how the roster works. So I'm coming in with 3 squads of Tomb Guards with halberds, 3 squads of Ushabti, got Arkhan the Black, and I've got the Chosen of the Gods, which is the Regiments of Renown, Ushabtis with great bows. For my opponent, playing as the Warriors of Chaos, he's got Bellicor, he's got Double Exalted Hero, both on chariots, and he's got 5 squads of Warriors of Chaos. So I'm gonna fast forward this, and as I'm approaching, I wanted to start getting some shots in on Bellicor with my Chosen of the Gods. I brought in a squad of Sepulchral Stalkers, and what I end up doing is shifting formation. I had the Ushabti over here, the Great Bow Ushabti over here. I decided to shift them over to the opposite side to get them away from Bellicor because they're not, anti-large as these Sepulchral Stalkers are. So if they get jumped, if one of them were to get jumped by Bellicor, I wanted it to be the Sepulchral Stalkers as opposed to the Chosen of the Gods. He ended up jumping on top of the Tomb Guards, so I'm dropping a Spirit Leech. He's going to put down, I believe, a, what do you call that? I hate that spell, but I can't remember what it's called. Pit of Shades. Chaos Chariots and Exalted Hero charging into my front line. Again, I'm using Ushabti to back up the Tomb Guard with halberds. Another squad of Ushabti intercepting Bellicor. I saw him going after Arkhan the Black, so I'm running this way, using the mask from the Ushabti to block him up, and then shooting in at him with the Sepulchral Stalkers and the Chosen of the Gods. Now, I specifically brought Sepulchral Stalkers to try to deal with some of the cavalry and large monsters that the Warriors of Chaos might be bringing in, including lords like Bellicor. So I realized after the match started that I brought Arkhan on foot, and I figured my playstyle really was going to need to be protecting him. I'm dropping the, what's that spell called? It's like a protection spell. There you go, Liber Mortis, so physical resistance and leadership. And here is unfortunate because you can see Arkhan is getting jumped by Bellicor, both Exalted Heroes. He's got a squad of Warriors of Chaos coming in. Looks like he's dropping a Pit of Shades to try to fend off these Tomb Guards. Luckily, I saw that coming as I was running to intercept, and I backed up. Bellicor is pretty beat up at this point. Front line's going decently well for me. You can see I'm pretty far ahead on the value trading. I'm like almost quadruple what he's got. Part of that is all the damage that I've gotten on Bellicor. Again, this is a very high value model. Same thing with the Exalted Heroes. Not that they're super expensive, but I've got a good amount of damage on them. And again, a lot of that is credit to the Sepulchral Stalkers and the Chosen of the Gods just getting that shooting in. Chosen of the Gods have some explosive damage, so they're not getting full advantage of that on single entities like this, but just running Arkhan back, he's losing a good amount of health, and I'm getting worried at this point because he's shaking and his morale's not good. It's kind of getting up as he's getting some support. Brought in the Nagash's Scorpion Legion. So I wanted to bring in some Skeleton Spearmen to support against the large threats that were kind of taking care of Arkhan. Again, my Tomb Guards are all tied up on the front line, other than this squad that's coming back, but they're down to 1 model, and there you go, they've crumbled. So he's brought in some Hellstriders of Slaanesh that captured point 3, point 1. He's got another squad of Hellstriders and he's got all 3 capture points. So although I'm ahead by a pretty hefty amount on the gold value, I have no victory points at this point. And Sepulchral Stalkers and Chosen of the Gods still firing on Bellicor. Hellstriders trying to get around the back end and deal with Arkhan. He was really putting a lot of pressure on Arkhan, just trying to shut him down and get him off the field. So a lot of this match was dropping Spirit Leeches, running, and more running for Arkhan, just trying to stay within the Skeleton Spearmen and whatnot. Looking to get my Chosen of the Gods up on this hillside to shoot down into this front line And then I saw these Hellstriders come crashing downhill. And again, they were looking to get Arkhan, so I'm running them to the side, trying to take a good angle. Unfortunately, he gets caught in the charge. But on the bright side, Be'lakor is off the field. I think I must have killed him. Kind of missed that end of him there. But I've got, what do you call them, Screaming Skull catapults coming in to sit on the hillside to fire in at reinforcements and potentially fleeing troops. And at that point, just because of the immense amount of losses that my opponent had taken, especially losing Be'lakor as a high-value lord, I figured my opponent, although he had control of all 3 points, realized that, or maybe not realized, but figured that he wasn't going to be able to hold on, just given how many troops I had left versus him. A lot of his front line was cracking at this point. You can see Warriors of Chaos were all fleeing. He had some guys with great weapons and some Hellstriders, but I still had a pretty healthy squad of Chosen of the Gods, 2 healthy squads of Sepulchral Stalkers, had the catapults coming in, 3 squads of Spearmen. One of them was the Regiment's Renown, Skeleton Spearmen, and Arkhan was still, I want to say, about a third of his health. So, good play to my opponent. He that match could have been very different if Arkhan had gotten caught out. But a quick look at the stats. Arkhan got a little bit. Chosen of the Gods, pretty good value for how much they cost. Ushabti all did decent, especially given, I want to say these guys cost 900, somewhere thereabouts. So pretty good given how much health they still have left. Again, they got a lot of damage in because of the them getting locked up with the Chaos Warriors of Chaos. They've got anti-infantry and they have armor piercing, both of which are really going to do well against Warriors of Chaos. And the Tomb Guards with Halberds, none of them got too much value, but decent for the role they were serving, just as my frontliners. And you'll see the Sepulchral Stalkers both got decent value, especially since neither of them really took too much damage. The only reinforcements I got to bring in, the catapults didn't get shots off, and these Skeleton Spearmen did decent, given they were matched up against Hellstriders who were trying to jump on top of Arkhan. For my opponent, Be'lakor, only 1,000 value. I would guess he cost around 3,500 or so, given what I've seen with him on matches on like the Turin channel and things of that nature. Exalted Heroes didn't get too much. Again, they got shot down by the Sepulchral Stalkers and didn't get to take too much advantage of their charge and their anti-infantry. Warriors of Chaos didn't do too much. None, much over 400. And for reinforcements, the Hellstriders got shut down by the spears. And the Chaos Chariots got shut down as well. Really overall, I think the Sepulchral Stalkers are really useful in this matchup. Again, this is only my first time playing, but just looking at their armor, their speed, their ability to deal damage against single targets, and there's not too many threats from the Warriors of Chaos against a unit like this, other than maybe like Marauder Horsemasters or something. But anyways, fun quick match, and I'll be interested to see how playing the Tomb Kings goes. They seem to have a pretty good amount of flexibility with their monstrous units, their constructs as they're called. So I'll have fun playing around with them. But anyways, good play to my opponent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.